IUPAC nomenclature of alkanes. Alkanes are acyclic saturated hydrocarbons with the general formula CnH2n plus 2. Word acyclic means alkanes are open chain molecules. Few examples can be seen here. IUPAC nomenclature of alkane will not have primary prefix and secondary suffix in it. So, under secondary prefix, we will be telling all the substituents in an alkane. Root word will tell the number of carbon atoms in the longest possible carbon chain, that we call it as parent chain. Primary suffix will be ane for alkane. These two are simple alkanes without any substituents on it. So we will have just root word and primary suffix in them. First molecule, if we count the number of carbon atoms, then we have 6 carbon atoms. So the root word is hex. There is a single bond between the carbon atoms. So the primary suffix is ane. So the IUPAC name is hexane. Similarly, with the second molecule, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 carbon atoms. So the root word is oct and there is single bond between them. Primary suffix is ane. So the IUPAC name is octane. To name the complex alkane molecules, we need to learn two rules. One is longest chain rule, another one is lowest locant rule. First, let us learn longest chain rule. In the longest chain rule, we will be finding out the longest possible chain of carbon atoms and we call them with the name parent chain or root chain or principal chain. Number of carbon atoms in that parent chain, we call it as root word. Example, if I take this molecule and if I try to number from this end, then I will get 5 carbon atoms in my parent chain. If I start to number from this end, then I will get 3, 4, 5, 6 carbon atoms in my parent chain. So of these two, this is the proper numbering. If there are 2 or more carbon chains of equal length, one with maximum number of substituents is selected. Example, both of these are same molecules but numbered in different ways. In the first molecule, we are having substituent at position 2 and position 3. And in the second molecule, we are having substituent only at position 3. According to the above rule, first one is the right choice. Second rule, lowest locant rule. Parent chain will be numbered from the end nearest to the substituent so as to give the lowest possible number to the carbon which carries a substituent. Again, same molecule. If I try to number the longest possible chain, from this end, our substituent is taking the number 3. If I try to number from the other end, then the substituent will be taking the number 4. According to the above rule, first one is the right choice. Let us extend the same logic even to this molecule. If we number the parent chain, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Position of the substituents will be 2, 2, 4. If I try to number from the other end, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Position of the substituents will be 2, 4, 4. During this situation, we use the rule which says when 2 or more different sets of locants are possible, the lowest set of locant is that set of locant which when compared term by term with other sets, each in order of increasing magnitude, has the lowest term at the first point of difference. Meaning, in this molecule, If I compare these two locants, first term is 2 in both the case, so there is a tie. Then we have to go to the next term. It is 2 in the first locant set and 4 in the second locant set. Here we got the difference. Wherever we are having the lowest number, that wins over. So proper numbering is this one. Let us do it with the other molecule. If I number from this end, then substituent's position will be 3, 4, 9. If I number from the other end, then the locants will be 2, 7, 8. We have the difference with the first term itself. We are having lowest number here, 2. So the right numbering is this one. If different substituents are present, they are listed in alphabetical order with position. In this molecule, this is the parent chain and numbering starts from this end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. At position 2, we are having one carbon atom as a substituent. When alkanes sit as a substituent, they will take up the prefix name alkyl. One carbon name is meth. So this substituent will be called as methyl. 2 carbons here. This will be called as ethyl. Between methyl and ethyl, ethyl wins in the alphabetical order because E comes first, then comes M. So the IUPAC name will be 6-ethyl hyphen 2-methyl. Root word will be non. There is a single bond between them, so ane. 6-ethyl 2-methyl nonane. If we write 2-methyl 6-ethyl nonane by considering the increase in numbering, then this will be a wrong IUPAC nomenclature. If 2 or more identical substituents are present, then the numbers are separated by commas and the repetition will be represented in the form of prefixes like di, tri, tetra, penta, etc. These prefixes are not considered for alphabetical order. Example, in this molecule, this will be the parent chain. From whichever direction we start, we will end up in same numbering to our substituents. So let us stick on to this. We are having methyl groups at position 2 and 4. So we can think of two types of names for this. One is 2-methyl 4-methyl pentane, indicating the substituents at different positions separately. Or we can tell 2,4-dimethyl pentane, indicating like methyl is present twice. According to the above rule, 2,4-dimethyl pentane is the right nomenclature. Another example, we have already indicated the longest possible chain and the numbering. At position 3, we are having two substituents. One is methyl, another one is ethyl. At position 5, we are having one more methyl group. So while naming, we tell 3-ethyl 3,5-dimethyl heptane. Observe here, while considering the substituents for alphabetical order, I haven't considered D of dimethyl, instead considered M of methyl. Between methyl and ethyl, ethyl wins over, so it is 3-ethyl 3,5-dimethyl heptane. Generally, any name which represents number will not be considered for alphabetical order. Di means 2, tri means 3, tetra means 4, penta means 5. All these prefixes will not be considered for alphabetical order. If two substituents are found in equivalent positions, the lower number is given to the one coming first in the alphabetical listing. If I try to number the longest possible chain, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We are having the substituents at position 3 and 6. Let us try to number from the another end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We are getting the same set of locants. Now let us try to name the substituents. 2 carbons here, so the name is ethyl. 1 carbon here, so the name is methyl. Alphabetically, ethyl wins over methyl. So according to the above rule, we should give lowest number to ethyl over methyl. So the proper numbering is 3, 6. So the IUPAC name will be 3-ethyl 6-methyl octane. Alkane as a prefix will be called as alkyl. This fact we already know. But there are few alkyl groups which are having a specific name when it's sit as a substituent. Let us learn about that. When we have only one carbon sitting as a substituent, we know that it will be called as methyl. When we have two carbon which will sit as a substituent, there is only one way we can join and we call them ethyl. But when we have 3 carbon atoms sitting as a substituent, either we can attach these 3 carbon atoms to the parent chain through carbon atom number 1, or we can attach it through carbon atom number 2. If we attach it through the carbon atom number 1, then we will call it as N-propyl. It is the name for the substituent, keep in mind. If we attach 3 carbon atoms to the parent chain through position 2, then that substituent as a whole will be called as isopropyl. Let us try to do with 4 carbon atoms. We can write the 4 carbon atoms like this in a linear way, or we can write the 4 carbon atoms like this with 3 carbon atoms in one line and 1 carbon atom hanging. When we write it in a linear fashion like this, we are having 2 primary carbon atoms and 2 secondary carbon atoms. Let us number them. 1 and 2. On the other side, when we have this kind of structure, we have 3 primary carbon atoms. We can number it as 1, and 1 tertiary carbon atom, we can number it as 2. So if the attachment is from the primary carbon atom, then that prefix will be called as N-butyl. If the attachment is through the secondary carbon atom, then it will be called as sec-butyl, meaning secondary butyl. If the attachment is through the primary carbon atom of this structure, then that will be called as isobutyl. If it is through the tertiary carbon here, then it is called as tertiary butyl or simply T-butyl. When 5 carbon atoms are attached like this, we call them as neopentyl. There are many more ways where we can attach 5 carbon atoms to the parent chain, but only the few specific prefixes are given a specific name. Next is naming the branch. Carbon atom of the branch that attaches to the root alkane is numbered 1. The name of branched chain alkyl group is placed in parenthesis, meaning bracket. This applies only when the name of the branched chain is complex. Use of iso and related common prefixes for naming the alkyl group is also allowed by IUPAC nomenclature as long as these are not further substituted. Meaning, whatever the prefix names we have seen just now, that is ethyl, propyl, isopropyl, butyl, secondary butyl, tertiary butyl, all these names are allowed by IUPAC. While writing these names in alphabetical order, prefixes iso and neo are considered to be the part of fundamental name, whereas secondary and tertiary are not considered. Again, recall the same point. Secondary and tertiary, they indicate the number. Whatever indicates the number, that will not be considered for alphabetical ordering. Example, in this molecule, parent chain and numbering is already marked. We are having two substituents. One is upper one and another one is down here. We are having 3 carbons sitting as a substituent. This can be called as isopropyl. If not, we can start giving the number 1 and 2 to this. Similarly, 1, 2 and 3 to this. We have to choose the longest possible chain even while numbering the substituent. So for this, the prefix name will be either isopropyl, if not 1-methyl ethyl. And for this one, prefix name will be either secondary butyl, that is sec-butyl, if not 1-methyl propyl. So the prefix name will be 5-secondary butyl 4-isopropyl because between B and I, B comes first. Sec will not be considered for alphabetical order. If we are using the another name, then 4, we have to put the bracket here because the name is complex. 4, 1-methyl ethyl, and at position 5 we are having 1-methyl propyl. Methyl is common in both the case, so rule out that. Then we are having ethyl E and propyl P. Since ethyl wins over, substituent at position 4 comes first in the alphabetical order if we use this type of nomenclature. Observe these two names. Substituent, they are in different position. Substituent at position 5 comes first here and it comes later here. So be careful what name you are using. Let us apply the learned concept in solving few problems. Here we have to write down the structure of 3-ethyl 2,4,5-trimethyl heptane. Whenever they ask us to sketch the structure of a molecule, first we have to finish off sketching root word and the primary suffix. Here it is heptane. So we have to write down 7 carbon atoms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Then the name tells at position 3 we are having ethyl. So and at position 2, 4 and 5 we are having methyl groups. 2, 4 and 5 we are having methyl group. So this became 3-ethyl 2,4,5-trimethyl heptane. Similarly, let us try to find out the root word and the primary suffix. Here it is decane. We have to write down the 10 carbon atoms and then let's number it. Now let's go for prefixes. We are having a methyl group at position 3. So, and at position 6 we are having neopentyl. So we have to write 5 carbon atoms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then at position 4 we are having propyl. If they simply mention propyl, it should be taken as N-propyl. At position 4, we are having 3 carbon atoms. Count the carbons. Decane means we are having 10, propyl is 3, neopentyl is 5, methyl is 1. So together we are having 10 plus 3, 13, 18, 19 carbon atoms. Let us count here. 10 here, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Now the structure is right. Let us try to find out the IUPAC nomenclature for this molecule. First, it would be better if we convert the given structure into bond line representation because chances of doing mistakes will be less. We are having 4 carbon atoms here. Let us write that. And on the second carbon, we are having ethyl sitting. Similarly, on the third carbon, we are having ethyl sitting. Now, if we try to name this molecule, then this will be the longest chain. So, if we number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, the root word will be hex. Primary suffix is ane. At position 3 and 4, we are having methyl group sitting. So, the prefix name will be 3, 4, 3,4 dimethyl. So, the IUPAC name will be 3,4 dimethyl hexane. Let's try to do the same thing for this bigger molecule. First, let us convert this one into bond line representation. We are having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 carbon atoms. Let's do that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 carbon atoms. At position 2, I am having a methyl group. So here a methyl group. Position 3, one more methyl. 4, 5, 6, I am having 4 carbon atoms sitting in the form of a chain. This is at position 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4 carbon atoms sitting. Then 7, 8, 9. 7, 8, 9. Somebody writes this in the form of a bracket means on this carbon 2 methyls are sitting. So this is my 8th carbon, that is this one. On this 2 methyls are sitting. 1 methyl I have already written. One more methyl should be represented like this. So this is the skeleton structure of above molecule. Now if we try to find out the longest possible chain, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At this junction, if I move up, I will get 7, 8, 9, 10. If I move on the other side, I will get 7, 8, 9. So the longest possible chain is this. And to get the lowest locant for the substituents, I have to start from this end. Let us start numbering it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So this whole thing now will be considered as a substituent. Let us try to get the name. Our root word will be dec because there are 10 carbon atoms. Primary suffix will be ane. We are having 1 carbon sitting at position 2 and 3. So we are having 2,3-dimethyl is one substituent. 2,3-dimethyl is one substituent. And at position 6, we are having a complex substituent sitting. Let us try to name it. We know that carbon which is attached to the parent chain should be numbered 1. So 1, 2, 3. So this is propyl, but on that we are having methyl sitting at position 2. So the name of this substituent will be at position 6. Put a bracket. We are having 2-methyl propyl. Either we can use this as a substituent name. If not, we can use isobutyl also as the substituent name. And for the alphabetical order, if we are using these two, then M of this, and M is a methyl and methyl is a tie. Then comes P. Since M wins over P, we have to consider dimethyl first. If we are considering dimethyl and isobutyl, isobutyl comes first. So the name will be 2,3-dimethyl 6,2-methyl propyl decane. Next lecture will be on cycloalkanes. Thank you.